Welcome into Real Deal Sports Talk. This is your host, KP. It is Sunday, October 2nd, first weekend of NFL football we got going on. A lot of big stuff happened yesterday in the college game. The baseball playoffs are going to kick off this week. We'll talk about them later in the week. A lot of stuff going on, so we'll get into it. One thing I want to start off with, this happened today. It happened yesterday in the San Francisco Giants game. It happened today in the Lions and Bears game. And it tends to happen quite often in professional sports where you have these fans, these people who either want to make a statement or they're drunk and want to run out on the field. Has nothing to do with a big win. Has nothing to do with the team accomplishing anything like you can often see in college games where fans will rush the field all together at the end of a game. No, we've got these idiots who want to go out there, and today at the Lions game, this idiot was wearing a gorilla suit and had a All Lives Matter shirt on, and, just made a fool of himself, stopped a bad game. It was not good. It's one of the reasons I don't go to games that often. I've talked to you guys about this before. About just the drunk, stupid people that can afford to go that don't appreciate the sportsmanship, don't appreciate the pureness of the sport. And that's the kind of idiots that you're dealing with here. The San Francisco Giants guy at that game, he's running around on the field. He thinks the Giants player is going to, high-five him or something. Giants player body slams him. And this is an area the players need to stay out of. They really need to stay away. You don't know if these maniacs are carrying weapons or if they're on something or if they have something disease-wise. And you don't want a lawsuit coming back at you. Even though they're breaking a law, they're doing something they're not supposed to do. Two rights don't make a wrong. And as fun as it is sometimes to see those idiots get clobbered, the players need to stay out of it a little bit. They need to keep themselves safe. They need to keep themselves out of a position of someone trying to take advantage of them and sue them for money for their own stupid actions, which, hey, that happens a lot in this country. We like to sue other people for, our own stupidity. That's why McDonald's now says, caution, contents are hot when you order coffee, because who knew coffee would be hot? It's just dumb stuff. I'm not a big fan of it. One thing I am a big fan of, even though I'm not, I don't really have a baseball team. I've talked to you guys about that before. There's a lot of the older teams that I like when they're doing good. It makes baseball more interesting for me. I'm not going to run through that list right now. I've done that on previous episodes. But Vin Scully, okay, long-time announcer, longtime sports broadcaster for the Dodgers, not just in LA, but also in Brooklyn. He's been there 50, 60 years now. He officially has called his last out for the Dodgers. He's done. It was Dodgers-Giants today. The Giants pulled it out. The Giants clinched a wild card with the win, I believe, if I'm remembering this correctly. The Giants are in as a wild card game, but I might have the matchup wrong. But Vin Scully, he's done. Longtime guy. He went out with class. He talked about doing it for the fans, and I can only hope that one day, looking back on this venture that I'm starting here with Real Deal Sports Talk, that at the end of my career it can be 40 or 50 years down the line and I can say some similar things and have called some amazing sports occurrences as he has, or had some of the great interviews that he's had. It's something that I definitely aspire to with this show, and one of the reasons I started the GoFundMe page, to try and help better my product and help better achieve that goal of really turning this into something and not just having it be looked at as, oh, here's another guy with a hobby, but this is something that I want to do, and hopefully one day with a little luck and perseverance I can retire the same way Vin Scully is. One guy, let's talk about this guy. Here's another story that's going on in sports right now. He's not going to get a chance to retire. He might not get a chance to play again. and that's Josh Gordon. It's a little bit sad. It's a little bit, well, duh, look what you had right in front of you. It's a little bit, well, it's just too bad. This guy had all the talent in the world to play receiver on the NFL level. He had a lot of opportunities to prove that he could handle himself. And it came out this week, breaking yesterday, I believe, from various sources, that Josh Gordon is entering a rehab facility, inpatient facility, to deal with alcohol issues. And it also came out, Adam Schefter reported, that the Browns were actively trying to trade him before he entered the facility. Now, he was eligible to come back for the Browns this week. It was a guy that I had talked about when he came back with the addition of Coleman this year and the way Pryor's been playing. The Browns were going to be pretty set at the receiver position. Now you're looking at them. Terrell Pryor's their number one receiver by far. Josh Gordon's not coming back, and most likely the Browns will completely move on from him at this point. All we can wish is that in his personal life, he can get things together and be able to live a happy life. I don't know that another team is going to take a chance on him. We might still see some kind of a suspension come down from the NFL that we don't know about. That could be why he's entering the treatment program again, voluntarily. We don't know all the facts around this one. But for Josh Gordon's sake, just for his life and what he's got going on, maybe, we just put out the positive vibe that he can control that demon and just go on to live a good life. All right, let's talk some college football. We had Chris Rupert on yesterday from the DirkCannon.com doing Rupert's Report, where we cover the college football game each and every week on Saturday morning. And yesterday there were some good games. The Michigan-Wisconsin game was a hard-fought game. Both defenses played really well. It came down to just really a matter of plays. And Michigan pulled this one out in the battle of top 10 Big Ten teams, 14-17 over a very tough Wisconsin team. And just like Chris mentioned, he didn't see Wisconsin being able to go undefeated in the state of Michigan. They just didn't have enough to pull it off. They had some drop balls. It's almost like the moment was just a little bit too big for them this year. They've played some good games. They did beat LSU early in the season. They beat Michigan State last week. They're going to be a tough out the whole season for sure. They're going to be bowl game bound for sure. I don't know how it looks for them right now in the Big Ten going forward the rest of the season. They're going to need some teams to lose for them. And Michigan right now, they got themselves in the driver's seat. They're playing tough games. They're playing close games. They've blown teams out. They've won with special teams. This is a team I'm drinking their Kool-Aid right now. I don't know that they win the national title this year, but I like the direction this program is heading under Jim Harbaugh. I really do. Now, expect Michigan to lose some talent this year. You're really going to have to see Harbaugh's recruiting and how well they can do with recruiting there at Michigan to keep this going. Because some of the players that are really helping this team click right now, like the Jabril Peppers, they're not going to be around much longer. You're going to see some, I'm sure, more focus on offensive skill positions the longer Harbaugh is in Ann Arbor. But good win for Michigan. I think that moves them up. No, they stay at 4 this week because Clemson jumped over them with their big win, which we'll talk about here in a minute. Tennessee, wow. This is not a team I believe in. I'm sorry. The way they keep winning these games, coming back from behind, I know that breeds confidence, but what you're not seeing after they get that confidence from a big comeback win is any kind of improvement in gameplay the following week. You see them making similar mistakes, falling behind, and that is not a good way to plan on playing football. You're not going to play winning football doing that. Eventually, it's going to catch up to you. A team's going to play some stout defense in the second half. You're not going to come back from 14, 21 points down anymore. But right now, Tennessee, Volunteers, wow. Are you kidding me? That's 3 wins that they've come back from at least, I think, 14 or 17 points down. and 2 of them of 21 points down. This is a team that's not going to give up. If you're going to beat Tennessee, you're going to go out there and you're going to play 4 quarters. Don't think because you got a 3-touchdown lead in the middle of the 3rd quarter or going into the 4th that you got this one wrapped up and you can start playing a different kind of defense. That's not going to work. They will come back. They have a no-give-up attitude, and they're having fun playing right now. You don't see these guys getting down when they're down big points. It's like, okay, let's just keep playing. Like this is an all-day game, and eventually they'll get back into it. I'm impressed. It's not a team, like I said, this is not a team that I really picked to be all that good this year. But hey, they just keep winning. And that's all you can do. You play the teams that come up on your schedule, and you go out there and you try and win each one. And right now, Tennessee is doing what they have to do to win each one. Very good job for the Volunteers on their big win this week over the Bulldogs. Florida State, they can't buy a win right now. That program is in disarray. I don't know what Fisher's doing down there. They have lost the team. You talk about recruiting classes. They've been bringing in amazing recruiting classes. And these guys they're just not making plays. They're not playing hard. It's not what we're used to seeing out of a Florida State football program by any means. And they're starting a true freshman quarterback. They've had a lot of talent go to the NFL over the past few years. But so what? So what? It's your job as coaches to put your players in the best position to win games. And I don't see that coming out of Florida State right now. If they're going to claim that these guys are, 5-star, 4-star athletes, right? These are guys coming out of high school. They're highly touted. Top recruiting classes, top 5 recruiting classes. And you're not getting anything out of these guys? There's some disconnect there. It's not what we're used to seeing, especially on defense. Florida State goes up. They finally take the lead, 35-34, with under a minute left in the game. You're used to seeing a Florida State defense at that point shut down the game. Florida State moves on with a 1-point win. Nope, not this week against UNC. They fight all the way back from a deep hole at the beginning of the game against the Tar Heels team who they're pretty much evenly matched against this year. And that played out yesterday. But the Tar Heels went up big, 21 points early. Florida State fought their little way back, eventually took the lead late, like I said, with just under a minute left in the game. And they go ahead and let them get right down into field goal range. And UNC kicks a game-winning field goal to win 37-35, and Florida State once again walks off the field with another loss. So clearly the preseason ranking on Florida State was overblown. They were way off of what everybody thought they were going to be. I guess that's part of the reason people are able to turn to and say, well, the regular season is the playoff. Because you do kind of weed out some of those teams who had high early season rankings and then just bottom out. That's 3 losses on the season for Florida State. There's no chance for them to do anything. They're not going to the ACC title game. They're not going to be involved in the playoff. They're going to have one of these hundreds of rinky-dink bowls that are just there for universities to try and cash in on a little bit of money at the end of the season. Right now, they got to go out and just play for pride every week, and coaches got to be looking at recruits and stuff for next year. Their recruiters right now got to be watching high school tape 24 hours a day, making phone calls 24 hours a day, doing what they got to do to set up meetings, to travel, to go, see in person, talk to coaches, talk to family members, talk to teachers, talk to principals, and do what they got to do to try and turn this Florida State program around. Because this is a big drop-off from a team that was competitive last year, that won a national championship the year before that, and, kind